Okay. Hello? Are we live? Okay, we are live. Okay, this took a while to actually work, but we are live. Hello everyone. Welcome to my first proper stream. There has been a lot that has happened in the last week, so we're just gonna start. I'm not going to wait for people since this is my first stream and since I don't have that many subscribers, so there's no point really in waiting. So I guess we should probably start. I will just go and tweet really quickly that I am live. Just a second. Okay. All right. So, let's start. So I won't really talk about Master Duel since that game I'm not as familiar with as I am with Duel Links and Go Rush. Well, I wouldn't say not familiar, I just mean I don't really play it as much as the other two formats. So I guess we should just start. Hold on, I will mute just a second. I do need to check one more thing before we start. All right, so let's start. Firstly, let's real quick go over all the Duel Links news. There were two major things that were announced. The first one being the Future Circuit main box. Overall, a pretty good box. Obviously, it's a main, so we do have to wait to see what else is in it. But pretty good. Firewall and Unicorn are great. And both the Goki and Trickstar Link Force seem fairly good for the archetype, so that box seems pretty good. We're also assuming that we'll have the animation for Firewall at that point, so that's gonna be really cool. The next one is the Mirror Force. I feel like Mirror Force is going to be kind of a hit or miss card, and I think it depends on. I feel like it depends on if they limit it or not, and the fact that they haven't said it yet, if they are limiting it or not, is what is weird. When we got Monster Reborn in Duel Links, they instantly told us it was going to be limit 1, so with Mirror Force they haven't done that. If it is instantly limited, I don't expect it to do much, since you're going to probably play Treacherous Trap Hole over it. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but I just feel like Treacherous Trap Hole is just overall a better card. Again, I could be wrong, but I don't think you're going to play Mirror Force if it is limited to 1. If it's at, if it's not limited, then you probably would play it, just because I don't think people will be as prepared for it in this format. So yeah, but we'll see. But now we'll actually go into the rush duel information, since that's the main point here. So first things first, we did get a mini ban list for rush duels. These bans do feel a little bit late, especially with Secret Order, but that card, I don't know, I think if it isn't broken now, it could still become very broken later. So I think while this ban list is a little bit late, I think it's fine. Apart from that, we got the announcement that the Rush Duel game is going to have both the Rovian and Overrush pack. So that's great. It is definitely very weird having all those characters in the game and not giving them, their cards. So now actually having them properly, that's great. And hopefully they all have chants and stuff. They should, but yeah, overall, that's great. We also got the next 2 packs. We are getting a one with the Lug in it, which revealed that we're getting what his fusion is, and we now know that the Lug's fusion is called the Dragia Star, which, now listening to it makes complete sense, right? So the material is 2 Dragias, which, again, his whole deck focuses around summoning 2 Dragias, so again, that makes sense. And that pack is coming out on the 21st. So that's interesting. So yeah, I don't know. It feels weird, but the next pack is much more interesting to me. Legend Awakening. So the card that they promoted with this pack was 5-headed dragon. And the reason why it was promoted so heavily and why it is super exciting is there's no way of summoning 5-headed dragon currently. So they said that this pack, not only will it have some kind of big focus on legend cards, but there's going to be some kind of way on summoning 5-headed dragon. So most likely we'll get some kind of new fusion spell, which is really cool if it is. It could just be some kind of trap, something weird, but I don't know, I feel like it has to be some kind of new fusion spell card, which is really, really cool. And hopefully it's good, because that means that now we can get more crazy fusion monsters in the game, which is super, super cool. And that pack is coming out on April 3rd, so a 3-month gap between these 2 packs. So, and we're presuming that this pack will also have whatever will be next with the anime. So you know, the new characters cards and aces will probably be in this anime, which, to be fair, I guess 5-headed dragon could be one of their aces, but probably not. Speaking of the new characters, we got 2, I mean technically 3, but the third one is obviously Yuhi, so there's no point in going more over that. So there two characters' names are Tremold Ryugu and Phaser Ryugu. There have been a lot of theories about these characters, and I mean, the thing that seems most obvious, to me at least, right now, is that the final arc of this season is going to be Valgir. We're going to go to Valgir, and these two are going to be generals of the people who are attacking the Valgir star cluster. Again, just to me, currently it makes the most sense. So yeah, I feel like there's not much else it could be. The Yuhi thing, there's kind of like a few different theories on what that it could be. The main ones are just that Yuhi is a dark version of the Yuhi that we already know. And that makes sense because of what happened with the Erdamar, right? We know that Yuhi was supposedly a better duelist before the Erdamar was taken from him. And let's not forget, when the Erdamar was actually taken by Yugioh, it had like a silhouette of Yuhi in it. So to me, that just makes sense for that to actually be a darker version of Yuhi. The other theory that people have been talking about is that this is Yuhi from the future, but I don't know if we would have a time skip like right now in Go Rush. I feel like we don't need to. And it makes sense for the next step to be for them to go on Valgir, try to stop the war, because Yugioh has seemingly done what he was supposed to, right? His goal seems like it's accomplished. So if, let's say, he is now going to Valgir to try to stop the war with the Lug's power, and so our team is going to go after him and try to stop the war in a different way. So that's probably what it will be, and that's why I don't think that this is some kind of dark version of Yuhi. I mean, again, I could be wrong, but the time skip theory doesn't currently make sense, right? The dark Yuhi theory seems a lot more plausible to me, but I don't know. But that was the Jump Festa stuff that we got. Now let's go into the actual episode. I'm probably not going to go too deep into this since I will be doing a review of both 38 and 39 next week. But this was a crazy episode. It was so funny because I feel like everyone, when they were watching it, they weren't even paying attention during Yudhi's or Lug's turn. It was just waiting for Yuna, because I feel like the summaries have kind of been very obvious in one thing. The start of almost every summary is the end of a previous episode. So when this summary said, oh, something happens to Yuna and the boy from the future takes over, it makes sense that that's how this episode was going to end. I didn't expect Yuga to take a full turn, so that's cool. And I do like that he summoned Seventh Root Paladin, not Master, yet. And I feel like we could wait for Master a little bit longer, although he hasn't gotten a proper win with Master of Seventh Road yet, if I remember correctly. So I guess he could have done that, but I mean, that was such a cool moment. It also feels weird that they didn't, do that almost like towards the end of the duel, right? Where Yuga takes over and then in one final turn he fuses and wins. But I guess they wanted to give him a bit more screen time here. The question is, I don't know how much more they're gonna focus on Yuga. Is he gonna become like a regular now? or will he just kind of almost be like a nail, right, where he's gonna give almost like orders and tell our team what to do, and then he's gonna do it only when he needs to. Because we also forget, Yugioh wasn't like the most incredible duelist. I mean, he was probably like third or fourth in his show. You know, Luke was much, much better than him. Again, not technically a horrible duelist, but I don't know if we need him in that, you know, completely in the front lines. I feel like Udius can hold his own a bit more than Yugioh here. You know, I definitely expect Udius to surpass Yugioh, at least in the dueling aspect, not just as an overall MC. But I don't know. I don't want Yugioh to just overshadow the other characters. As much as I love Yugioh, uh, we've already kind of had a lack of original characters, so to say, because, you know, out of our main cast, like almost all of them are variants. The only ones that aren't are literally the aliens, right? The Zuijo, UDS, like Mitsuko Chupataro, Kawaii Tel, all of those aren't variants, but everyone else is. So that kind of takes away from those characters. So if we now have Yugioh and then have a huge focus on him, I wouldn't really like that, but I mean, we'll see how they handle it. One thing that I would love for them to see is, for them to do is just go to that seventh universe. The Go Rush game, as much as we can't take this literally, you can travel through dimensions or through time. So, I mean, maybe, and if they do, then have, you know, Luke, dual Luke, Roa, London, all of those, that would be great. But again, I don't want Yugioh to overshadow UDS, Yuhi, right? All of these characters. But I mean, we'll see what happens. Again, I don't want to go too much into detail about 38, especially since 39 is airing in like 3 days, and I'm going to have to do a review for that. But I mean, that's kind of everything I wanted to talk about. I mean, it wasn't really a big Jump Festa, right? So it's not like we have like a movie to be announced. It's not like we have a master rule change to be announced. So there wasn't that much to talk about. It was mainly Rush Duels news, which is the main thing for my channel right now. But yeah, also, obviously, as I said on Twitter, I will be doing Pokemon episode reviews starting, well, whenever the new series starts. I think it's in April, right, for the Scarlet and Violet anime. So that's going to be really cool. I'm very excited about that. I know that everyone's still waiting for that dub changes video. I've finally caught up with the 7th dub, so I can start making it. I still don't think I'm going to post it before the new year. I could try, but I feel like it's better to just, you know, not have to rush through the holidays and just wait and post it in like January, right? Like right before the start of the next arc. I think that could be fine. So, yeah, I know it wasn't some kind of big stream to do, but I had some time, so I thought, hey, why not try it? And I'll probably be doing more of these. I'll try to do some like dual links or like cross dual streams and stuff like that at some point. But yeah, for all of you who did come to the live stream, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And even those who are watching the VOD later, again, thank you very much. I'm going to try to do more of these because it is fun just to chill, talk about what happened in what all news happened with Rush Duels and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you all for coming, and I guess I'll see you in a week with my next